This is a day that I've been waiting for since last Halloween. The entire lineup of Hobbie's Halloween yarn has arrived in the yarn dungeon, and we're gonna go through every single one of them, all of the names, the colors, potential projects that I'm gonna work up with them. I am fairly confident that I can at least start one more project. I do this on purpose. I leave one of my projects just blank, like knowing that I'm gonna have something, but like it's just like it's taking up space in my planner and in my head, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet because I was waiting for this yarn to get here, and there are just like so many options with this. One of the things that I love about Hobbie's Halloween lineup, they go all out. So not only do they have yarn that they classify as Halloween, but the yarn actually looks super spooky. Like it is Halloween colors. The labels, the names go with it. Like it's not just Halloween and then green, purple, something like that. Like they all have names. The only thing is that the names are not written on the yarn. So I have my phone here. We're gonna go through. There we go. First little look of some super spooky Halloween yarn. I think this one's called Galaxy. They did not have any new yarn on their site from last year, which is a good and a bad thing because I was kind of excited to see if they had anything new, but it just meant that some of my favorites came back too. Ooh, that came out perfect. I love the witchy purple. Okay, so the labels, let's see, is this for all of them? I think that's what they're going with. Is yes, the orange, the ghost, the pumpkin, the kitties. On the side here is where it'll say color, number. This one, I already know. This is zombie. No, I don't. Never mind. What is it called? Is it just Zombie Universe? Zombie Planet. That's what it is. So much of this stuff hit the yarn dungeon last year. I made a sweater, some socks, I made cowls, all of the things with this yarn because the slime green and the intense witchy purple together, this stuff when it's worked up it's stunning. It is a full-on statement piece. Quite a few lines in the entire Halloween section too. So this one is the Halloween Universe XL. 98% acrylic, 2% polyester. It's a number 3 lightweight yarn, suggesting a 4 to 5 millimeter crochet hook. I actually put this on my knitting machine too and made an entire sweater with it. Even with the metallic strand in it, it worked up really well on my Addy machine. I didn't try it on my Centro or any of the other ones like the loops and thread ones. I didn't try it on that one. The Addy machine though, I know for sure it works well on, and also the Addy machine to make socks with it. Like that's the ones that it seemed to work with really well. Okay, let's find all of the Halloween XL, and if we, this is gonna be really hard. Okay, give me a second, let me organize it. And we have some candy too. This is their Hobbii candy that comes with every order, so I'm thinking we're gonna get another one. 'Tis the season, right? Like, let's have some candy. I've never actually tried these. What do they taste like? It's just cherry. Okay, cool. That's not gonna be good with my coffee. This one looks like it is a ton of the sock weight yarn. So much yarn. Just give me a second. You gotta look at this. Okay, maybe that one. I don't know which one I like the most. Tell me you do that with your yarn too. When you get a big giant bag of it, just dump it out and kind of like make a blanket. So some of the lines are really, really close together in name and also color. So make sure you're paying attention if you're going onto their site. So like this one, Universe Halloween in the Zombie Planet, this is 100% acrylic, but this one, the Universe XL, has some wool in it. The premium acrylic, I really, really enjoy working with this. Now, it's not saying that I don't like the wool one, it's just there is a lot of wool in this entire lineup. So it was nice to kind of break it up with all of the other stuff that's going on. We also have some cotton action too. Oh, you know what? We have 2 different labels. So for the sock yarn, we have a purple label with a spooky little ghost that's trick-or-treating. and a spooky little cat. Is that a trick-or-treat bag? No, those are candles. And that ghost is just hanging out, having their absolute best time ever, chilling with their baddie friend. Let's start with the ones that I am really stinking excited about, and I will be casting on tonight. I just need help deciding which color I'm gonna do. The Twister Halloween, 55% cotton, 45% acrylic, is a showstopper. This yarn is, okay, I can't say enough good things about it. I love the way that it feels. It is a little bit thin, so just keep that in mind if you like the colors but you don't like working with thinner yarn. It also isn't wound super tight. For me, those are not deterring factors though, because the color, and especially making this into a wrap, it just unfolds beautifully. What is the name of this one? So a number 2 fine, suggesting a 3.5 or a 4mm crochet hook. I'm actually going to use a 4.5. I could go down to a 4, but I think it looks totally fine with the granny stitch that I'm going to be using in a 4.5mm. Okay, Twisted Halloween. It is on sale right now. So this one, there are all different sales going on. They have all 4 colors up. Oh, that was the main thing. I was like, I don't want to tell you how much I love this if they don't have it up. So right this second, this moment in time, they have it out. The name is All Hallows Eve. So freaking perfect. And with my nails, these also glow in the dark. I was gonna change them out, but maybe I will just grab another pack and go with that direction while I'm using this yarn. I bought a cardigan's worth of this color. I don't know that I'm going to actually make a cardigan with it, but I just want to have it in stock in the yarn dungeon in case I want to. Next color number 4 is called Fright Night. Another one that is stunning. And I'm gonna stop saying that because every single one of these, like they could be called stunning. They're spooky, they're Halloween central. This one is really interesting though because, oh, I forgot to tell you, if you dig in the middle here, they have the easy start. So right there, a little tiny sticker, you're ready to go, just pull that, and the beginning of your project is now a super breeze. Another thing that I love about Hobbii, especially with these thinner type of yarns that are not tightly wound, I find it can be a super pain to like find the center of it without it being tangled. So this, we know right away that it's not going to be tangled, at least to start with. Next is like a pumpkin-y color. Pumpkin Smash, that's why. This feels like it needs to be made into a wrap, and I need to bring it with me every time I go to a coffee shop to have a pumpkin spice latte. I have yet to make anything with this color, so that might be my sign. It might be my year to make this up. But the gorgeous orange in the middle, radiating all the way to like a dark burgundy and a brown, and the brown gets really dark on the outside here. These work really well if you want to make an entire project out of one cake or 2 cakes or 3 cakes, like not doing like little bits and pieces from it, like at least doing the whole thing once over, so that way you can see all of the repeating colors. How much is in here? Because it is a lot. It doesn't look like a ton of yarn, but trust me, once you get into it, you're like, oh my gosh, this cake is never ending. 1,093 yards. Yeah, 8.8 ounces. There is a lot. Easily, you could make a shawl or a wrap from this. Cardigan-wise, probably just a couple of these, really, depending on the stitch that I'm gonna play around with. I did get 4 more of these. So 4 of this and 4 of the All Hallows Eve, because I was thinking maybe a cardigan. The last color, we have a purple and an orange in Ghouls. Ghouls? Okay, now I don't know. Ghouls or Fright Night? Which one should I start with on this? Because this is really the direction, like this is the group or the category of yarn that I want to start with. Totally a dopamine project. Like as I'm working with it, I'm always excited to get into it because there's something different constantly happening with every single stitch here. Scan that and it'll go directly to the Hobbii Halloween site, which is nice because there are a couple of different places where this yarn is at. Like you can type in Hobbii Halloween or just Halloween, I guess, on their site. There might be a few things that you'll end up missing. So make sure you scan these just to double and triple check that you saw everything that they have available. All together, which one am I working on tonight? If I had the time, I would love to do a wrap with every single one of these. That might be a tall order for me. So we're gonna start with one and see how far I get into that one. The care instructions. Machine wash, lay flat to dry. Honestly, I think I threw mine in the dryer. I'm pretty sure that I've been doing that and it's totally fine. But yeah, don't listen to me. Like do what the care instruction actually says. Lay it flat to dry. Didn't ruin it though, so that's a happy accident right there. But let's go to the next one. The Dalia Halloween, 100% cotton. And again, we have the little start with these as well. I think for the most part, I think they all have it. I'm not sure if the sock yarn does. Number 2 fine yarn, suggesting a 3.5 to a 4mm crochet hook. I have used this one before and it's kind of a love-hate relationship for me. The color, spot on, I love it. And because of that, I constantly come back to this and make more projects from it. It is really, really loosely wound and there is a lot of chances for my hook to get snagged on it. So I have to be very particular and careful about the stitch that I choose with the Dalia Halloween. 5 colors in total, and this first one is called Freaky Nightmare. How did I not remember that was the name of this? Because that is incredible. We also have hashtags. Don't forget about those. Hashtags for every single Halloween line. Definitely check them out and see what everybody else has done for patterns and or like people's setups. A lot of times people will decorate with this. I am one of those people. So I take lots of pictures of my Halloween yarn all set up in the yarn dungeon. And it's just kind of fun to go through. You're in for a scare and the hairs on the back of your neck will stand when Dalia Halloween unfolds its Halloween vibes in your project. The yarn is not for the faint of heart. I would say it has a double meaning because it is not for the faint of heart to work with. You have to really be committed when you get into this type of yarn. Now, I could be just speaking for myself. You might be sitting there and being like, no, Kayla, I love this yarn. I use it all the time. I kind of prefer the way that it is. I like how it's not twisted up together. I like the feel. I like the drape. So this is just me speaking. I personally have to 100% be committed to this project when I work it up because I can get a little bit frustrated with it. But the color is phenomenal, so that is always the thing that saves it for me and has me coming back every single year to make a project with it. Next up, we have Haunted House. Loving the grays, love the witchy purple, and the black all throughout. I feel like I could make a wrap or something with this and it would go perfect with just about any of my Halloween outfits that I have ready to go. Scientist, mad scientist, mad scientist, slimy green action. I'm here for every second of this one. I have made multiple wraps from this and gifted it away. So this, I have 4 of these that I ordered. I know that there's a couple of people in my life that have been asking about this color again, of like, oh my gosh, remember that wrap you made last year? I'm like, I do, I totally do. And yes, I now have more yarn so I can make more of the wraps. And it's just like a granny square, like a big chunky granny square, and it's a triangle. Very quick and easy to do in theory, but the fact that I'm using, you know, the cotton yarn and it's pretty thin. I do use a 4 for this one. So a 4.5 was just a little bit too much space, and I found myself getting my hook caught on it a little bit more because of the fact that there was like too much space. It needs to be compacted a little bit for this one. Next up is Dark Witch. All of my witchy ghoulies out there, you're gonna love this one. I don't really have anything more to say other than it's witchy and it's beautiful. Another pumpkin spice looking one, Pumpkin Pie Spice. That is the name of this one. So this with the twister yarn would be kind of fun to put together. Maybe I should do that this year. Combine textures to work up a project instead of taking one of them and doing a project. Maybe I take all of them, the ones like the colors that go together anyways, and make the ultimate Halloween cardigan or Halloween wrap. I don't know. That's why you're here with me today. Help me figure this out. Like, what am I going to get started on? Out of all 5 of them, I have seen these 4 all worked up and what they look like. The pumpkin pie spice I have yet to see. And that's the very last one that I need to work up and see what it looks like. So potentially we've got the pumpkin pie spice in the Dalia cotton. The Universe XL Halloween is the acrylic. There are 4 colors in this line as well. 98% acrylic. It's a lightweight DK. That pink is so intense. I would say this one in particular looks even more vibrant than the picture. That is some Killer Clown type of pink action right there. The entire line does have the metallic that runs through it. Personally, it doesn't bother me, but you can feel it. So it's not like stand out big chunky metallic. It definitely is wrapped very nicely around the yarn, but just running my fingers over it, I can always feel it. When the project is all worked up, I can still feel it. There are times when it kind of can get pulled away from it too, depending on what stitch I'm using. So this is another one for me that I put a little care and attention to what project I am going to work it up into. Now, saying that, sometimes the project just hits me and inspiration strikes and I want to work it up into that particular project. I'm going to do it. I'm not saying it can't be used for all the projects that you want to work up. These are just things that I have noticed over time, and it has like a little bit of a roving feel to it. 3 weight yarn suggesting a 4 to a 5 millimeter. So this is kind of my happy zone. What are you called actually? Intergalactic Monster. That's what this one is. Because I have so much Killer Clown decor that will be going up in the yarn dungeon, I grabbed quite a few of these. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but regardless, it's gonna be perfect for decor. We have Dark Matter, which is kind of like a sibling to the Galaxy, but this one has a lot more of the intense witchy purple running throughout it. All 4 of these I have seen all worked up and they're stunning. Zombie Planet is up next. Yeah, I feel like I just have been talking about this since last October to anyone and everyone that will listen. I freaking love the Zombie Planet and I'm so glad that they brought it back. And lastly, Horror Halo is a bunch of purple wound up together. It looks amazing like this, but when it's worked up, it's beautiful, and it does have like a galaxy type feel to it. So if you like the purples, you like the witchy stuff, there are a lot of pieces in all of these different lines in the Halloween collection that you'll be able to like pick them out together, work them up into a piece. Like a little metallic, a little cotton, a little acrylic. Universe XL, that is what we have for this entire line. If you scroll through, like pick your favorite color and then scroll over a little bit, you can see it all worked up. So they have every single color, like let's just start here. Beautiful. That way you just have a better understanding of kind of how it's going to get worked up. Obviously, every single skein, every single cake is going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a little variation. I love that they at least put this up here. So if you are going in between like 2 colors, you want to make just one project and you just want one of the colors, I feel like that helps a little bit, right? Like you can see the entirety of the color spectrum. Universe Halloween Premium Acrylic, which is the fingering weight sock yarn. Again, 98% acrylic, 2% polyester for this one. It's a #1 superfine weight yarn, suggesting a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. This one, again, the entire line does have metallic in it, and it doesn't bother me. You can feel it, so if a sensory, like metallic, is a sensory issue for you and you don't like that in your yarn, this yarn, I would say, is probably not for you, because even just rubbing my hands on it, you can feel it. Like, it's not a harsh or abrasive metallic, and especially when it's all worked up, it's really, really nice, all compacted together. But just to be on the safe side, maybe find one of the other ones that doesn't have any metallic in it. So again, we have all 4 of the same colors. So we have the Zombie Planet, the, what is it called? Intergalactic Monster. That's the next one. Horror Halo. And lastly, Dark Matter. Worked up into socks. They are so freaking spooky too. Then we have the Universe Halloween sock yarn, which is exactly the same as the one we just chatted about, but it does have the wool in it, and it is quite a bit of wool too. So it's not like a 50-50 blend. I think it's way more than that. What do we have? 74% wool. So yes, these, you're definitely going to feel the wool, and you're going to stay nice and warm from this. But if wool is not your thing, I would say you have the option of the Universe Halloween, the premium acrylic over there. Otherwise, all of the colors are the same. Again, the Zombie Planet, the Horror Halo, the Intergalactic Monster, and the Dark Matter, all ready to go in wool form. For the very last part of this Halloween lineup, we have the sock yarn, the metallic and the non-metallic lineup. There are so many incredible colors, and I know I said that the Twister Halloween, yeah, Twister Halloween, like that was my favorite. It's hard to say because honestly, all of it. Like, I like all of this. It all has a specific thing that I want to use for a specific pattern. Halloween sock yarn, wool in glitter, and then there's also the other one. Let's just see the names first. Zombie. Okay, this one is just called Zombie. The green in this pops so much. And then what are they calling the other one? I think it's just like non-glitter. Yeah, just Hobbii sock yarn. Wool. That's what it is. Limited edition fingering weight yarn. 75% wool, 25% nylon. There are how many different combos? 7 different colors. Do I have 7? 1? Once they start going out of stock, that is it. Like, they don't restock them. I would love to be wrong. So if they do restock it, that's fantastic. I will be wrong. But last year, as things started selling out, we weren't able to get them again. So this, I got a bunch. This was an absolute must for me. It goes with a ton of my Halloween costumes, my decor, my setup, just like everything and anything, not just socks. Like, I am gonna use this for different things. I made some fingerless mitts with it last year in the metallic and the non-metallic. A couple of these are pretty close in color, so I want to make sure that I'm getting it right. Okay, so #1, are you #1? No, you're #3. #1 is Meanie and #3 is Scary. Or not Meanie, Mean. #1 is Mean, #3 is Scary, but they are really, really close. Like, these two, very close. If you don't look really intensely at the color, you might miss it because they have a lot of similarities going on. This one, which is the #3, so Scary Sock, it has just like harsher lines, where #1 Mean Sock kind of like, it's a little bit lighter. Where this one ends up looking like a stripy sock, this one is gonna be kind of more of a fluid, flowing colors type of a sock. Very Scary. This is its combo in the non and also the metallic. Personally, I like the metallic a little bit better. #1, which is Mean Socks. I don't have a preference of this one. They both work together really well, and I've also held them together on my knitting machine and made socks with it that way. That's a majority of what these socks are gonna get worked up on, is my knitting machine, by holding both of them together. So they're gonna have a little bit of metallic running through all of them because I've got like the one with and the one without. Oh, I need to show you. This year, I do have spooky sock blockers. So as I'm working these socks up, because there is so much wool in it, I do have to block them. I haven't used this one yet. This will be the first time, so maybe I should start that. Throw this on there. It's just hanging on my wall. It's just been staring at me. It's like, come on, let's make some socks. I normally like to have 13 pairs, 13 brand new pairs every single October. So when the 13 night countdown starts, throw on my jammies, grab my coffee, and just make a night out of it. Killer Clown looking one, which is number 5, is Wicked. I don't know, it just screams circus to me with the bright neon-y colors, but Wicked it is. Probably the darkest out of all of them, with also the pop of slime green. This looks incredible under a UV light. Creepy socks, creepy and zombie. Those are my 2 favorite out of this whole thing. A vampire one, which is actually called Vampire Socks. Look at that, I remembered. You have the black that runs through it. It's almost like a light gray. So like there's parts that look pretty black for the color of the yarn, and then it goes all the way to a light gray and like a darker shade of gray. It's a little bit easier to see it when it's all worked up too. Again, this is another color that's not like super stripy. It's more of a gradient color, which I really enjoy. I think this is the last one. Oh my gosh, this is the last one. Shocking Socks is the name of it. Basically, we have a traditional Halloween color, trick-or-treat style type of socks is what it looks like to me. And out of the 2, I like the one without the metallic when it's worked up into a pair of socks, but I like having the option as well. So that is the entire lineup of the Halloween Hobbii yarn this year. They did have one more thing that was not yarn related that I had to grab. It's a little wrinkled right now, so I need to bust out my steamer, but we got a trick-or-treat bag this year with a cutesy little cat. Actually, I think it's on the tags. I'm pretty sure. Did I see one? The same tag design. We have this little kitty. Obviously, we all talked about it enough last year that they're like, okay, we hear you. Here is an adorable trick-or-treat bag for you. I love the vintage vibes of this too, with the classic trick-or-treat pail. We got the bats, we have the cutesy little kitty, and Boo. So whatever project I decide to start on, which I still need help with, so hopefully as you've been chit-chatting with me today, you've been thinking about which project I should start, because I feel like I've said it 5 or 6 different times with every single line. I was like, oh, I should start this. Oh, I should start that. 2 different throws I had. I had the cardigan, the one that was on the knitting machine. I have some socks. I think I said socks with this one too. So clearly I want to make all of them, but I need to start somewhere. So any and all suggestions are more than appreciated. I will try to get to as many as possible. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to have one entire day set aside just to make socks on my knitting machine, because I've got so many of these and I want to work up every single one of them. And now that I have my adorable little sock blocker as well, I can't pass that up. That has to happen. Hopefully there's something that jumped out to you that you were like, yes, I 100% need this. I need to work up a project. I need to have as many of these as possible to decorate my yarn dungeon too. I would love to hear all of your ideas that you have for projects that you are starting. And if you already got your hands on some of these colors, let me know what you're working on currently. Because I did really well last year of gifting away quite a few projects from this collection, but just looking at it right now, maybe it's a me year. Maybe I do a couple of cardigans for me, 13 pairs of socks for me, and then if I have time, we'll do something else. I've been pretty good this year. I've been gifting away blankets and cardigans. I did many, many shawls that I've gifted away already, and now we're here in October, which is my favorite month out of the entire year. So I should do something for myself, right? Like at least one. Well, the socks at least. We're gonna do 13 pairs of socks. Oh my gosh. Just thinking of that now, that's gonna be a day for sure. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of spooky Halloween joy, those crochet Halloween vibes going. Don't forget to check out Hobbie's Halloween section. This is definitely a goodie this year that needs to be out and about everywhere, and tag me too if you have this with a project in it. Hashtag altknots. I'm gonna let you go, so have a fantastically spooky rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.